Yeah, good afternoon, students. Welcome back to our class that is Managerial Economics, Unit 1. Today we are going to complete our first unit last topic that is nothing but the basic concepts of economics tools or what are the tools and concepts of economic for decision making. So here we will go with the one by one slide. The first one is uh, just go for it. Yeah, what are the tools and economics, what are the tools of the economics in our chapter? So we are having five theoretical parts. Those are the five principles. The first one is the opportunity cost principle, the second one is the incremental principle, the third one is the principle of time perspective, the fourth one is the discounting principle, and last one equimarginal principle. Now we'll go one by one, but before that I want to explain you about uh, what do you mean by uh, concepts of economics. Let's have a look here. See, in economic theory, uh, properly it has been mentioned clearly that economic theory offers a variety of concepts which can be of considerable assistance to the manager in decision making practices. These tools are helpful for managers in solving business related problems, and thus by this reason we are saying that it is a guide for the manager for making the decisions. See, whatever the decisions or whatever the problems are coming in the business, a manager is a whole and soul final decision maker, and he should have to take the proper decision overall on the process for making uh, the final decision which is going to be perfect for the management or for the organization. Now we'll have a look here. That is nothing but the economic concepts tools for decision making. As we are saying that this topic is totally related for the managers or for the high level or the top level managers in the organization to take the decision for their outcoming result in future. Now we'll go first with the first one, that is opportunity cost. Yeah, what do you mean by opportunity cost? Let's have a look over here. That means opportunity cost, it determines the relative price of different goals. That means whatever the company want to takes place, it is going to take place in a proper way. Like a company want have a lump sum of amount 40 lakhs in his hand. So it is the decision, shall we have to keep in hand, cash in hand, or shall we have to keep in the bank for the fixed deposit where we can get the interest of high interest of rate. It depends. So or we should have, or shall we have to invest the amount in the product or for the production where that product will be having the huge expenditure in future after 1 year. So depending on these things, the opportunity cost is takes place or it will enters. Now what are the economic significance of opportunity cost and what are those? Let's have a look. The first one, it helps in determining relative price of different goods. For example, if a given amount of factors can produce one table or three chairs, then the price of one table will be tend to be equal to three times that of one chair. So it is going to be multiple of, see, whereas the cost of one chair is equal to dollar 50 rupees, and whereas the three cost of the three chairs for service sector in a hotel, if a person want to book a chair, it will be 50. But whereas if it is going for three chairs, it is going to be $150. If a table is booked, so how many chairs are coming surrounding to it? Like for example, two six chairs are coming around that. So it is benefited to the company on in place of booking chairs. If you book for one table or the round table, how many chairs are coming for it in the restaurant? So that much products, that means that much benefit will be there. So 6 by the 30, that means $300 he can earn on behalf of 150. That is double. The opportunity cost is double. So we have to take which opportunity is better. Now here I'm having some more slides which we are going to takes place. Okay. Now another one is example is it determines a determining normal remuneration of a factor of production. See, what is a normal remuneration? Remuneration is what? It can be salary, it can be wages, it can be award or reward or carriage inward or carriage outward or expenditures for the company. Now, for example, let us assume that the alternative employee of a college professor is to work as an office in a bank of at a salary of rupees 40,000 per month Indian currency. Now, in such a case, he has to pay at least rupees 40,000 to continue to retain him in the college. That means if he is getting the same salary in the college and in the same salary he can get in the bank office, that is the remuneration he will go for it. That means which one is better, if I go in the college work or in the bank work, which one is good? So depending on the quality, what product does he's having the quality of is either he is a educationalist background or he is an administrative, so that he can work either in college or in bank. So it depends on the opportunity which one is going. That's the reason we also have to see that where the cost is taking place, either the expense is taking place properly in the college level or in the bank level. Depending on that, the bank manager will take the decision, the college officers or the administrative people will take the decision on the employee. Now the third one is it affects, that means it helps in proper allocation of factors resources. Whatever the case, that means allocating or uh, placing the raw materials in the proper way. That means whenever the scarcity of raw materials will be there in the market, it is a duty of the manager to provide the raw materials in an allocated way where the output should not have to get affected either by the brand name or by the delivery in time or by the quantity, how much it should have to make, or the profit, how much they have to gain within this time period, or they have to provide, that means that much output unit or the quantity of the product should have to be generated from that machine or labor or from that place. Now here it has been mentioned clearly that opportunity cost is equal to nothing but return of the best option not chosen, or return on the option chosen. Which one is going, either going to the work, by going the work we can do this, or by skipping the work we can do this. So these are the both the options the manager should have to take place and they have to work on it. Now if you see this diagram, it is mentioned clearly that uh, uh, here P1 and P2 is there. P1 is nothing but the product 1 and P2 is the product 2, and Q1 is quantity 1 and Q2 is the quantity 2. That means here this is the price, sorry, it's price 1 and price 2, quantity 1. If we are increasing the price, then definitely the quantity will be increased. If the demand, what will be here, the demand is going to be increase, it is coming. And whereas coming to the, when the price is increased and the quantity is also increasing, then what is happening there, automatically the demand is also increasing. So which one we should have to go, that means the company will take the proper decision on this performer or portfolio to capture the figure. For example, a company XYZ is there and already it is there in the market. They know that the supply of the good is good and they are the monopoly, or their product is good in the market. So what they will do, for example, they are they are follow, that means they are manufacturing the goods, or the quantity of the goods Q1 is here, and what will be the price, that means the profit of the price is this much. If they increase, if they want to increase the quantity, what they have to do, they have to increase the price also. So when P1 and Q1 price and quantity will be there, then the demand will be this much. When the demand is increasing, if you want to increase the demand, or when the demand is increasing, what we have to do, automatically the manufacturers will increase the price and the quantity also. So by this, which opportunity is good, either D1 opportunity is good or D2 opportunity is good, and how much they are selling or how much differentiate is coming. So this is the opportunity cost, that means how much cost will it take place, we have to have a look. So this is the tool or the concept, we can say that the economics or the managers will takes place while launching their product or the new product in the market for earning profit. Now we'll go for the another term, that is managerial decisions must be based on the clear understanding of the cost of alternative decision and how relevant these costs are in a given situation. Thus, the opportunity cost of a decision means the sacrifice of alternative that is required by that decision. See, either we are having two options or four options. So the choice is depending on the manager. If they are selecting one, then they have to sacrifice the remaining options. So when they are removing or eliminating or they are ignoring other options, it should not have to affect to the organizations or the firm for reaching to the profit level margin or marginal cost or marginal profit. So you have to be very careful while taking the decision. So this sort of theory is helpful to the managers for taking the decisions in a proper way. Now we will have an example so that you can able to understand it properly. Now what is that? The opportunity cost of using a machine to produce one product is the foregone income which would have been possible from other products. That means with the machine which we are using and it is not useful for other products, then what is the use of that? Another example is there. Then this is a in clear balance they had explained. The opportunity cost of holding rupees 1000 as cash in hand for 1 year is the 10% rate of interest which would have been earned that and had the money kept as fixed deposit in a bank. Let's see what happened. For example, I have done a work and the organization is ready to pay me 1000 rupees right now to me per day. So if I take this 1000 rupees per right now in today's day, I can fulfill my requirements or I can fix deposit in a bank, whereas I am getting in returns. If the firm is saying that no, no, don't worry, Mr. Khan, we will pay you this 1000 rupees after 1 year. I know 1000 is not going to go anywhere else. After 1 year, when I am getting that 1000 rupees, the value of the 1000 rupees what I am having today will not be the same in the value what I am getting after 1 year, as the rate of interest will be increased or the rate of land will be increased or the expenditures will be increased day by day. So it depends on the situation. That's the reason that it's the duty of the manager. They should not have to take the wrong decisions, and by opportunity, by seeing the opportunity, they have to work and they have to fix it. Another one, the opportunity cost of a high school graduate joining college in the income he would earn by entering the workforce. That means the school graduate, see a person who has completed just schooling, how much he can earn, and the person who had completed his graduation or post graduation, how much they can earn. That means depending on the source, that means it depends on the knowledge what he is getting and what the opportunities getting in the market are in future. So these are the examples of the opportunity cost, how they have to hold it. Now we'll go for the second term, that is incremental principle. What does it mean? It means that totally incremental principle is related to the marginal cost and the marginal revenue concept in economic theory. Another part, it says that incremental concept involves estimating the impact of decisions alternatives on the cost and revenues, emphasizing the changes in total cost and total revenue resulting from changes in price, products, procedures, investment, or whatever else may be at the stake in the decisions. And here is one, and in incremental cost we are having two concepts. One is the incremental cost and another is the incremental revenue. Now what do you mean by incremental cost? Incremental cost can be defined as the change in total cost resulting from a particular decision. See what are the decisions we are taking, and depending on the decisions what changes are coming after taking the decisions, it depends on the cost resulting. Another example or another concept of incremental cost, we can say that incremental cost is the total cost incurred due to an additional unit of product being produced, or incremental cost is calculated by analyzing the additional expenses involved in the production process, such as raw materials or for one additional unit of production. See, when we are purchasing the raw materials from the suppliers, so what will happen, we have to bear some expenditures, but whereas after a time being if you are purchasing that, then he is going to charge additional taxes or additional tariffs or trades or tariffs or custom charges on it, so it will be lost. So we have to purchase the raw materials in time, and as we know that in future the price of that product is going to be increased. For example, in general balance, if I take an example of onion, see what's the cost of the onion per kg nowadays. It is 25 to 35 rupees is going on depending on the condition of the onion. But in future, after the demand is increasing of the onion, automatically the prices of the onion will go up to 80 rupees. In the last previous years we have seen the incremental of the class prices of the onions also took place like that, and the same way it will take place. Now here is the concept how the incremental cost will be there, whether to produce the new product line in the house or to at the outsources. If you are producing within our unit, how much it costs. If you are giving this in bulk on the contract basis or on the catering purpose like that. For example, how much it costs, which one is suitable, either we can save time, money, efforts or not, or it is costing more than what we are producing. Second step, whether to allocate the available resources to optimize their utilization or not. That means what are the resources we are having, we should have to allocate, or we should have to place in the available places or not, we have to optimize it, we have to take care about it. And the third one, whether to accept one of high volume order from customer or by business partner. If it is good for us if we are going directly with the customer, or it is good if we are going with the business partner, which one is good for our business, we have to go for this process. Now last one is whether to change the price of a product or not. Either if you change the price, the demand will increase of a product or not. If you are not changing the, if you are getting the profit or not. So it depends on the managers to take the decision by seeing the situation and condition in the market or of our product condition. Now coming to the next one, that means incremental revenue is the change in the total revenue resulting from a particular decision. Another one, incremental revenue is a powerful instrument or for decision making digital marketing. What are the things that are taking place in the digital marketing, it will be helpful for taking the profit. Marketers define incremental revenue as extra revenue. What they are saying? They are saying that incremental revenue is an extra revenue or extra profit or source of income for the, for generating specific campaign or channel. In other words, it is the revenue a company wouldn't have earned without a particular marketing effort. Without doing particular efforts, the company will get the profit. So here, how by seeing this picture, you can see that sometimes, unfortunately, the demand will be increased in the market by seeing. For example, IPL matches will be there. So how much it costs? Unfortunately, the peoples have been the cost of a ticket per person is 500 rupees. For example, I am giving an example, 500 rupees will be there, and we are having the space of 50,000 people of the ground, but whereas the another person who is the marketer, that means who is having the ground, if he say that he is having 1 lakh people can come in his ground, what does it mean? That means we are getting, see, our target is to get 50,000 seats placed, but we are getting 1 lakh seat placed, so we are getting double price. So unfortunately we are getting that option or the opportunity, so we have to utilize that, and this is nothing but incremental revenue over there. Now coming to the incremental principle, the incremental principles may be stated as follows: it increases the revenue more than the cost. That means it will try to increase more revenue or profit or gains rather than the cost. It decreases some cost to a greater extent than it increases other side, or else it will decreases the cost or the expenditure. And the third one, it increases some revenues more than it decreases others. That means whatever the other things, expenses we are having, it may be that means it is going to save our money on behalf of unnecessary expenditures. The last one, it increases cost more than revenues. That means whatever the cost is there more than the revenues, it is going to increase that also. So we have to be very careful which one we should have to go for. Either we have to go for the revenue or for the cost. Now last fourth one is principle of time perspective. See, this is very important. See, by seeing the long term and the short term, if you have a product is new in the market, what shall we have to do? If you are decreasing our price for a time being for 2 years or 1 year or 3 years, then once the product is in demand, then automatically if you are going to increase the price in future or for 2 years and covering these losses over there, then that is known as time perspective goal or principle. So the economics or the decision maker should have to go for this concept also. Now what does it mean in common parlance? Let's have a look. The time perspective principle argues that the decision maker must give due consideration both to the short and long run effects of decisions on revenues as well as cost, giving opportunate weights to the various time periods before arriving at a decision. There should be a balancing from long run and short term decision making. That means what is the time period, what is the weight, what is the weightage of the appropriate profit and loss, what is the before, that means arriving the goods before or after, which one is good. So we have to calculate it, we have to do the research, and the managers or the decision makers should have to focus on this principle, and they have to work for the benefit of the organization. Here is one picture. Before going to picture, I want to give one common balance about this. The market become across many new products which are sold below cost or on relatively small margins in the beginning with the hope of commanding a good market and thereby making profits in the long run. If the managers did not have time perspective in their minds, they would never resort to such practices. This is called the price penetration, or that means at the starting of the time we are just making the small price, and after the long term if you are going to increase the price, then it will be takes place. So we have to be very careful in this prospect. Now see here, the times perspective figure is showing that what is our past positive, that means what we have the positive things are taken, what are the past negative, that means what are the negatives or errors or the mistakes have been taken place by us. So we have to present what is the present position, what is the present fatalic, and future positive and future negative. We have to have a look, we have to gather the data and we have to work on it, and we have to take out the output from the oriented person. Now time perspective. The fourth one is economics often make a distinction between short and long term. The short run means that period within the time within some of the inputs called fixed inputs cannot be altered. Long run means that all the inputs can be changed. Economics try to study the effect of policy on decisions on variable like price, cost, revenue, etc. Sometimes production methodologies, that means methods are the procedures, are the technologies what we are using, technology in the short form you can say, in the light of this time distinctions. Now discounting principle, this is the last one, just have a look. Discounting principle is means what, one of the fundamental ideas in economics is that a rupee is worth less tomorrow than today. That means suppose a person offered a choice between a gift of rupees 1000 today or rupees 1000 next year, naturally he will choose rupees 1000 today. Then this is true for two reasons, as I was saying at the starting point when I was explaining this topic. The same thing, the example has been mentioned here. In the future is uncertain, we can't say about future, either he may be alive or not, or we may be alive or not, we can't say about future. That's the reason we have, that means that those are nothing but uncertainty. So the future is uncertain, and there may be uncertainty by getting rupees 1000 if the present opportunity is not available of. The second option is today rupees 1000 can be invested so as to earn interest, say 8% interest we have done for the fixed deposit. So after 1 year what I am getting, I am not getting 1000, I am getting 1080 rupees. So these are the two reasons. Now discounting principle. See, the concept of discounting future is based on the fundamental fact that a rupee now is worth more than a rupee on a year after. The concept of discounting future is based on the fundamental fact that a rupee earned now is worth more than the rupee earned a year after, even if there will be a certain future return. Yet it must be discounted because to wait for future implies a sacrifice for the present. That means unless and until if you are not giving sacrifice for the present day, we are not going to achieve or receive the future fundamental fact that what we are going to have it. And unless these returns are discounted to find the present worth, it is not possible to judge whether or not it is worth undertaking the investment today. So the present value is important than the future value. So either we have to go for the compounding or shall we have to go for the discounting, we have to decide. So this is the a decision of the manager, they have to take that it is present, shall we have to wait for the future compounding or shall we have to give discount itself only and can fix the price in future, we don't want to take the risk. So it depends on it and they are going for it. And the last topic of this today's session is marginal pricing, and here this principle deals with the allocation of the parts of the available, that means whatever the allocations of raw materials and the parts are available, it should be alternate, that means it should receive to the alternative person and activities, depending on the activities which one is the qualitable, which one is generating, we have to transfer to that. For example, A B C D are four activities and we are having 100 labors. So every activities they divide this 100 labors in 25 members. So for example, A is doing good work than B. So we have to, that means B is in need of 4 or 5 effective workers. So we have to transfer 4 or 5 members of effective members from A to B, and we have to terminate or we have to transfer B employees in A, so that they will learn, they will get the training from the A employees, so that it is a change of work. That means that is nothing but the marginal principles will takes place over here. Another one, according to this principle, an input should be so allocated, that means whatever the inputs we are having should be allocated, that means should have to be placed in a proper way that the value added by the last unit is the same as in on the other cases. That means whatever the first unit, how the first product or the first units were getting in quality and durable without effects, like that the last unit should have to be manufactured at the output should have to be in such a way, then only we are going to generate the profit in the market, or else we are not going to get it, or we will not reach to our marginal utility. Now, seeing by these pictures, you can able to understand this is the household things and this is the business things. If you see here, that means productive services. Either what are the productive services are there, the business persons will take it and they will pay. That means wages, interest, or profit they will generate. And consumers, the consumers will say in these goods, and that means consumer productions will be there. Or consumer they will purchase the goods, and goods and services whatever the business they are delivering they will charge for. So it is an interrelated, which one is good for us, that means taking the decision here. Overall the topic consists of what are the concepts of the economics. It means they have to take the decision in a proper way by seeing the goods and services and productivity services of the product, what sort of if it is good if you are selling, if it is good if you are going for the maintenance recharge on the basis of the wages or salaries or the interest or the profit, depending all these criteria we are going to work on it. And here is a small link, if you just open it you'll get what do you mean by the marginal utility differences. Thank you, have a nice day. For watching this video, and just comment your attendance in the comment box for your daily attendance. Thank you, have a nice day.